time ago.
Listen to me, everyone. Please don't
Oh
give
my
me such
god.
cold and disdainful looks. What happened just
Oh
now
my gosh,
didn't
the
prove
her
a
reputation
single
is
thing.
ruined, crumbling down around her right now.
How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater? Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
She's losing it. She really is losing it. Hey yo, what's up guys, this is Wild One and welcome back here to my freaking YouTube channel, and we are now finally back here once again to Genshin Impact. So anyways, we are now just continuing with this Archon quest, and yeah, I need to finish this ASAP before the next map arrives, because yeah, I think the Archon quests of Natlan is almost done already, so yeah, I better finish this soon. Then we're now just returning here to the freaking Spinadero Sula base, and yeah, I currently forgot the stuff that has currently happened in the last freaking video, but yeah, anyways, it's fine.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been
But yeah,
happening.
as far as I remember, we are literally still in trying to, like, you know, figure out a way to, like, flush out Furina to, like, say the freaking, you know, truth on what she actually knows about the freaking prophecy. That's as far as I remember. So yeah, I think this is actually after the beating with pretty much everyone there, talking about how they can actually flush out Furina.
Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. Well... It's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great.
Yeah, we'll
After
do
all,
fine.
You're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Huh?
Something wrong?
Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all.
No, I didn't.
Then what's that?
Don't
I've
drink
never
that.
seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just
Oh?
joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Invisible person?
Who's that voice?
A talking
There's
teacup?
no one here.
Aw, have you forgotten me already?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
The voice from the sky, I fear that description is wrong. Though, not completely wrong. You're feeling
Man.
lost now. Just
Hold on,
as
I
you were
actually do
feeling
not remember that freaking
previously.
voice. Was there? I might actually
I
have
sensed
to
that
check out
confusion
my
and thus
previous
came to you.
gameplay.
Guiding people is an irresistible hobby of mine, after all.
Yeah, who are you and what do you want with us?
Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim.
Disciple? The only one that I literally remember is, yeah, Mona's freaking master. Will Fontaine's prophecy become
The
true?
prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesized will be fulfilled.
Wait,
You
is
may
this
view
Mona's
such things
master?
as
As
the
far as I remember,
history
this
of the
ain't the old
future.
hag that she was actually referring to.
Then is there any way we can stop it?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Teyvat so easily be changed?
Can there really be no exceptions?
Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
Man. Okay.
What is she talking
The traveler
about?
is thinking
It
now.
all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but it That also sounds kind of scary.
You sure you're literally just fighting against the god? The tea in the teacup is just about gone as well.
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must reach out to change. Ultimately, fate shall
How the hell
serve
did
as
she
your
literally
only
drink the
guide,
teacup
no
while she's
matter what
invisible
will
or
happen in
something?
Teyvat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
Yeah, who knows? She might actually
This was
be in a
good tea,
freaking
by the
different
way.
dimension or
Thank
something
you for
right
your
now.
hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
Okie
The
dokie.
voice. It's gone.
Agent, is this a clue you're leaving for us? Well, seems like it. Okay, the unexpected news leads to complicated feelings. When you wake up, someone seems to be outside.
What?
Uh-oh.
I want to hear someone talking.
When someone's outside, that's a bad thing.
Alright, coming.
You're getting more diligent,
Hey,
Paimon.
it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've
Oh,
walked
man.
in on some lively
Okay, here's
banter.
Mona.
Mona!
How have you been these past few days?
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I expected. Not all Fontanians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue preparations. I agreed, so we had a brief chat with her.
Oh,
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Charlotte.
Yes, it was
Oh, man.
Charlotte. You remember
Let's
her, right?
go.
That daredevil journalist. I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again tonight,
Huh?
but I wouldn't get your hopes up.
You couldn't reach the old hag. Then yeah, I was indeed correct. The one that we have literally spoken to wasn't the old hag that she was referring to. Then who was it?
Huh?
Like, bruh.
Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
I believe she came to pass a message to
She
us.
said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most
Wait,
people would
actually,
believe
the
gods
witch
to be
that we
all-knowing,
actually
right?
know
The Hexen
was actually
Zergo
Chris'
members are
mother.
certainly anything but
So,
ordinary.
that, of
As
course,
for
we
the mage
haven't
named
heard the
Anne,
freaking,
the old hag has mentioned
named the
her a
person
few
yet.
times. She said that
Or
Anne's
Mona's
sense
teacher
of
yet.
direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and Anne's been around for longer than that.
Whoa.
Oh man.
The Hexen Zirkel sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so... Perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now.
Her words were meant as a helpful hint. But when will we realize their value and meaning? Was that the best answer that my question could have gotten?
Traveler, Paimon, are you...
Oh, we're fine.
Yeah, I guess
We're
we need
just
to
a
find the
little
answer
down right
ourselves.
now.
And that
Kind
answer
of
lies
feels
with
like the end
Purina.
is coming, you know?
I see. I feel that same sense of desperation, too.
Hey, we'll be fine. We won't turn into water. Just
I guess
the
you could
freaking
consider me
Fontanian.
someone who has often witnessed
That's
fate.
the issue.
So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for and believe in miracles. Astrology is eternal and rational, but fate may not be. It is cruel, but it can also be beautiful. Perhaps that's what En was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we don't struggle to the last, then how can we face the end when it comes?
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related stuff. I need to get going.
Yep, don't worry about it,
It was
thank you.
worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling in the same way I did. I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Okie dokie.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said, but also kind of sad too. Hey, Traveler, Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go. Let's walk around
Alright.
the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Up? Yeah, seems like it's telling us to go up. Okie dokie. We're just gonna teleport right there. Yeah, it would be actually interesting if Mona actually brought Fish along with her since they're actually best friends. Yeah, that would actually be pretty, I don't know, chaotic. Well, when it comes to their freaking duo. Okie dokie.
Huh? Our names are written in this newspaper. What's going on?
Charlotte, what you do?
Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that does not mean that others cannot interact with it. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that.
You want to enter the freaking fortress?
Thus,
Yeah,
did an
after
Outlander
doing
friend
freaking
become
crime.
the focus of this report.
Oh
A blonde
man.
adventurer with their white fairy, legends trailing in their wake. It is
Hey,
said
yo,
that
that's
this
us!
mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress.
Yes, that's us!
So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades.
Oh my gosh.
Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet. The Traveler's Trail, World Walker.
Oh man, that's a good freaking title. Let's go, Charlotte.
She
Oh
hasn't been able to get a
man.
hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead?
That sure seems to be the case.
Ugh, seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time.
Okay. Yeah, sadly we cannot even see that. Okay, continue moving forward. Yeah, I guess if Charlotte is literally that desperate, she'll try to freaking do a crime just so to literally get inside the freaking fortress. But yeah, that's a headline of its own
Paimon's
at that
hungry.
point.
Should we go in and get something to eat?
Okie dokie. Man, how elegant.
Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition only 16 slices a day cake!
Oh my gosh. It hasn't already sold out for the day.
It was so delicious the last time we tried it! Despite the tense situation we were in, let's give it another go. Paimon's sure it'll be great!
We can't let anyone get ahead of us.
One slice of cake, please.
Uh-oh.
Someone showed up after all! Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can eat.
Wait, did he really say something like that?
Yeah, only
That's
Paimon
right.
though.
Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day. Yep, she comes here
Every
often.
day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Favorite restaurant, eh?
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow. You know, like in the prophecy.
Same time, I'm trying to
the
literally scare
prophecy.
everyone. Come on.
To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No. Still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today. No. It's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
Huh.
Those were some
Don't
wise
be
words.
sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go?
Ayo?
These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know
Oh
Sichuan?
man. Yeah, honestly,
Sure
Shijuin
do.
is
She
probably
was
the only
born
one that
before me,
actually
and she
looks.
sometimes comes
close
to the
to being
surface
human,
to
at
teach us
least.
things about humans. She said that
Yeah, I
humans
actually
are
wonder
creatures
why
that
the
are saddened
other,
easily, yes, and you can
yeah, I
only
forgot
lift their
what
spirits
kind of
by
creature
feeding them
are they
delicious
called.
food. So please try the cakes
Why
here.
the rest
I've got
don't
something
look
else to do, so I'll
close
be
to
going
freaking
now.
humans though?
You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right?
Like, not gonna lie, I don't mind if Shijuin looks kinda like this. Not gonna lie. Yeah, look
And
at
there
that.
she goes.
He has his own freaking wings right
Alright,
there.
let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious.
You share a glance with Paimon and snarf down the
It's
cake.
more delicious than last time, and the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here.
Okie dokie. Okay, leave the hotel. Okay. That's a very long tip right there from Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Energy Engineering. Yo, what the heck? There's a profession like that? Yo, that's only piqued my interest all of a sudden.
Oh, we're near the Steambird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Oh, Paimon's mad. Hey, why'd you make an article about us, Scarlett?
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Ha! You've got some nerve. You just used us to make some quick mora.
Can we negotiate a profit split?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that. It appears you didn't receive it, though. It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even
Oh?
set the table with some food.
Let's go! We have some cut.
Oh, you're the best.
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden? Were you looking for me?
When Mona mentioned you, we thought of coming to see you at work.
I see! It seems you've already bumped into Mona here in Fontaine. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist.
Oh man. I mean, she actually
in
is.
which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the legendary Traveler and Paimon?
Yep. I already called it. She wants to
So your
literally
article
interview
in the
us.
paper today doesn't count?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and
Oh my gosh.
experienced.
You seriously want to interview me?
Yeah. Are we even qualified enough?
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it. But not right now, of course. I'll need a few days to prepare.
Oh, in that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then?
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for
Damn.
lighting, a venue, some props, and...
Dude, that's a lot of
Ooh,
preparation.
so much to get done now. Talk to you later.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
Um,
And what's that?
she's about to go.
If, just for example,
Oh my gosh,
Fontaine were to
Paimon.
be flooded tomorrow,
Is Paimon not freaking
What would
scared
you do
about the
today?
freaking prophecy to the point where she's literally
Huh,
asking
that's the
each and
prophecy you're
every
talking
single
about, isn't it?
person
I mean,
about
I
the
do
freaking
hear about
prophecy
it
at this
often,
point?
but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless. And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as
Messenger
possible.
pigeons.
I'm not a dreamer, nor am I
What?
a workaholic, but I do love my job, and I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind.
I
guess you
mean,
could say
isn't
I
that
was
supposed to be
born to be a
workaholic at
journalist.
this point?
But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
that's so nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her.
Wow.
Anyway, let's go and take a look at the scene,
Okay.
shall we?
So, throughout this whole entire video, it's just literally Paimon and the Traveler enjoying the freaking calm before the storm type of scenario that we're about to literally have.
The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking. If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Teyvat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do? No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
Yo, that's a difficult question. It ain't the end of the world yet, hello? Come on. And Charlotte has a point. Considering what to do is pointless, especially for just a regular person.
We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot.
Until that moment comes, I think I'll keep journeying on.
You mean, still traveling?
That I have to look upon this world.
Huh. Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
Yeah, that's always what you guys have been doing. You don't even stay in one single nation for way too long. The next few days are just as calm as Charlotte comes to find you and conducts interview in Espina di Rusula's safe house at Flores and... yeah, I'm not even gonna pronounce that. Navia, having finished her business in Poisson, even drops by to take a photo with the two of you. All goes well. Okay. Are we going to begin our freaking operation to, like, you know, flash out for Rina? Or not yet?
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough. But it's still better than the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty too.
So the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillac sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Meropide.
So are you under the impression that we might be wanted criminals?
Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
Small scale riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious.
Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House.
Ayo?
And while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her.
Oh
Loudly
boy.
accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in.
Oh my gosh.
The crowd continued
Poor
to grow,
Farina.
and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Marshalls
my.
Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right.
And
the Marshalls has
we're now
dispatched
tasked to
many
find her
people to
now.
search for her.
Well, I
We don't
guess
have
flushing
any
her out
leads
isn't
yet.
an option anymore
That
because,
said,
yeah.
I don't think there's much to worry about.
That literally just
she
happened.
Is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
I understand the situation.
Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Ah, is that so?
Well, I guess we're
Well,
looking
all
for
right
her
then.
now.
In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the palais now.
Okie dokie. Oh, wait. Nah.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
Nah. Based on their looks, that might actually be their plan this entire time.
If we know
Ayo?
Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead,
Dude, no,
she'll
I
look
think
for a
it is
place to
indeed
wait out the
playing
heat.
out as planned.
And as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone. When Nervalet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse. It would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today. Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling. Huh. Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of
Oh,
course,
man.
but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up
See,
too.
becoming a
Cool, huh?
detective done you some good.
In that case, there's not
Indeed.
much to lose. Poisson, here we come!
Yep, here we come. Come on. Okay, with teleporting.
This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation.
Yep, that does
Could
seem
Farina
indeed to
really
be the
be
case.
here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible.
Yeah, it seems like that was probably their plan all along. I think Linne and Lynette was probably the one that literally started the whole entire riot thing.
That's Farina, right over there.
Yeah, stay
She
quiet
really
for
is here
now.
all on her own.
Yeah, don't give up our position.
Should I just give up? This is all meaningless. What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Damn.
Give up, Farina. There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over?
Well, time to call her out, I guess.
Who's that?
Yeah, it's
Don't
us.
worry, Farina, it's just us.
So it is you, blonde traveler.
Yeah,
from
way
another
to change
land.
the
Why,
freaking
I
mood.
almost thought you were summoned
Very
from that
quick
mob of
right
my
there.
ignorant subjects. Come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
Farina, you were crying just now,
Oh
weren't
man.
you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
What do you mean, tear stains? Oh, I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. I'm still trying to process it.
Yeah, you're a bad liar.
Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were, disturbing my enjoyment of the arts? They even dare to tout
Oh my
their
gosh.
archon. I must teach them a lesson. I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces once they realize that I'm nowhere to be found. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marche Chaussee Phantom are freaking out right next to them too.
Oh my gosh. You just stop trying to act tough.
Of course not.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there!
Oh my gosh. Dude, how
Quick,
how they
after her.
found out? Hey yo?
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are. They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me
They're
in
here
person,
to
aren't
literally kill
they?
ya.
That's
Oh my
against the
gosh.
rules. I can't let them get their way.
What is she gonna do? Fight them?
Farina just ran off.
No, she literally
We
just
have to
ran
catch
off.
up with her.
Oh my gosh. Imagine if Farina literally just used the freaking Archon's powers against those people. My gosh, that would be a literal mass murder right there. Okay. Are we just going to get a few scenes of them running around? Seems like that's the case. Really now? Oh my gosh. Why does this look so goofy all of a
Should be the
sudden?
place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way.
Okay, she's following us now. Okay, nice. Okay.
Paimon's exhausted.
I'm so tired. I totally thought they had caught me. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
Oh my gosh. This place is not what I'd call soundproof.
You're right.
Yep, that's a good girl.
Uh-oh. Was this a part of the plan?
What's happening? The ground's shaking. Is it an earthquake?
Another disaster just struck, I suspect.
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Nouvellette's made some emergency plans, so the evacuation should go a lot smoother this time.
Yeah, I hope you're
Let's
right.
move it for ya.
But the people of Poisson, they've already...
Has Serena reached her limit? Now that she's talking about her actual feelings, she's starting to look far less stiff. Yep. You begin to talk amongst yourselves.
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years. I once had informants all over Teyvat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways too to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled.
You still haven't given up, right?
Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally be free.
But that would also mean that all hope would disappear.
Indeed. I've thought about giving up so many times. Especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives. But just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end. Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden, but honestly, considering my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all. Don't take any of what I just said seriously.
We'll take it
How could I
seriously.
possibly let Fontaine
Come
fall
on.
to the whims of trivial prophecy?
Yeah, she's playing stiff again.
I
Come
could have
on.
sworn you were actually being honest just now.
Running out of time, we can just go back to square one like this. You might not have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from anyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
You can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness?
Oh man.
Yes, I've heard that you came to Teyvat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Teyvat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator.
Hell, we even fought with the
aren't you?
freaking Master of Heavenly
If
Principles.
that's the case...
Well, we just lost though, that's the problem. Yeah, please spit it out. Come on. Oh man. Yo, we are getting our own cutscene for this one. Let's go. Yeah, don't tell me this isn't part of the plan at all. The freaking water or thing. Hey, yo. You, no, it's actually a part of it. They literally just transported us here. Okay, okay. Okay, what a plan. God damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance.
Yeah, there's
Now,
one little
without further
issue.
ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise
no.
the dramatic stakes.
That was way too early.
Do not forget, however, that I am Fosalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself. Does it not strike you as even the least bit absurd to bring the very concept of justice to trial?
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
Oh my god.
You would draw your blade against a god?
Oh my gosh.
I see. It
I guess
seems
that's
like you
supposed
have
to be
made up
plan
your
B
mind.
then. Oh, she surrendered?
I can't believe it. She just surrendered.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Oh my
Lady
gosh.
Farina, what is the meaning of this?
Shh. It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
Oh my
I
gosh.
raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. No duel shall be necessary. I will admit that I've been running away for a long time.
Okay, she's opening
I'm
up
sorry,
to us now.
everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. It is my duty to stand trial for my crimes. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I, too, am exceedingly disappointed in myself. But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage and resolve. I, Farina, will use this trial
God
to show
damn.
the world the true meaning of justice. This time, I will protect you. Applaud
Okay.
and rejoice! One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the
She
opera
managed to
epic
literally
is now
steal the
unfolding
freaking show.
before your eyes.
What the hell?
Mark my words.
That's some
This
talent
shall
right
be
there.
one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon, Focalor, will now begin!
Woohoo!
Yeah, she managed to freaking steal the show. What the hell?
History.
You can never
Why does it feel like Farina just
to...
took over the whole thing?
Yeah, she did.
Come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes? Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
All right, then. Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Oh man, thank you, Your Honor.
That so. Very well. Then please speak, witness of Teyvat, my accuser and fated opponent.
We were so close to getting her to tell us the truth, and it still turned out like this in the end. It's okay though, as long as we can defeat 49 Court, we still have a chance to figure everything out. Oh boy, this is getting spicy. This is getting spicy.
Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins. Just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Quite a lot.
We did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself. So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean, the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontainian history.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epic
Dude,
class,
that's one achievement for
volume of
Linny
the
right
box
there.
was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Areneas. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an
able to
extraordinary
pull off to
performance.
literally transport that from Poisson to the literal court?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a
The
massive amount
entire
of labor
freaking
and more
Fatui
to
literally
pull this
carried that
off.
thing.
We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water.
Oh,
It was a
man.
lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of the whole house?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight. Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for
Oh
your
my gosh.
courage.
Come on.
Only
Let's
the
start
most
this
outstanding
now.
champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
Thank you.
As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
You guessed wrong.
Oh?
My mission. We hope that you'd share your secrets with us.
Is that so? Then I suppose I must have missed my final chance. It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
Oh man. The only thing we can do now is to judge the Hydro Archon. Still, I can't help but be a little bothered with that conversation earlier. What did Furina want to say to me before we arrived on the stage?
Sir Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
Nice, nice, nice.
Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey, Charlotte!
Okay,
Oh,
let's go.
Isn't this the exclusive interview that she did with us before? So she's already finished it, huh? Wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine! So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument!
It's a super practical gift.
Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
Okay.
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duels you took part in at the Opera House. I didn't think this is the first of the
Yo,
Tony Harbin.
this is quite a lot.
I nearly the words of.
Okie dokie, we got this. We got this.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on, Nervilette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still haven't even been informed of my supposed guilt in all of this. Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However, you will need more than that to convict me of a crime.
That's true. But my charge here is
Hey,
unrelated to your conduct as an
what?
Archon.
His freaking voice right now.
Instead,
Let's go.
I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait.
Hey, yo.
What was that?
Yo.
Lady Farina's a fraud?
Dude.
Hey,
Yeah, this is gonna get
I came here
spicy.
thinking we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking our duty, but did I hear that right? She's not our Archon at all?
Charge accepted. Lady
Damn.
Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge?
Did we just hit the nerve? We just hit the nerve.
Lady Farina,
I
plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other
That's
than
a long
your
title
true
right there.
Archon.
Yeah. Even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible, but what grounds does that prosecutor have to make such a huge claim?
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that will never be upheld? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the God of Justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation. We will treat everything that's happened as a dramatic spectacle and move on with our lives.
Trying to negotiate to literally stop all of this. Nah. We're already deep into this. We're just gonna continue.
You have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
The people only see you as their Archon.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am? And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
Gotta think carefully what we know to be special about Farina exactly. Okay. Hold on a sec. Yeah, irrelevant. Yeah, I think that is irrelevant, of course. Meeting with the Knave. During diplomatic meeting with the Knave, she revealed that she had already probed Farina on her own. Okay. This is the one.
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Such as a curse.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the Knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
What matters is the veracity of the claim.
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
Neuvillette sensed it too, huh?
Hey yo. Instead of an Archon, could you just be a cursed human?
Lady Farina is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
Oh, now it's a tie. It's now a tie.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being? Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods. For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the indemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
Wait, that one trial proved the opposite. Farina actually has no control over the Oratrice at all. Okay. Hold on. Where is Linus' case? Oh wait, that's irrelevant. The Oratrice judged him as guilty in the end, even if Farina didn't know why. Yeah, here's the one.
You tried to reference the Oratrice. But weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide.
Then why can't you comprehend it as well?
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
Damn.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
Damn.
That was no trick
No,
of
let us
rhetoric,
throwing the
Lady
punches
Farina.
now.
I've merely reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon? Well, now you're really losing me. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally, and it has been operating independently ever since it was first created. You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
Okay, but then Miss Farina, could you give us a brief demonstration of your power as an Archon?
My power as an Archon? There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate
No, that's an excuse. That's an excuse.
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
Oh my god!
You don't need to go that far.
Okay, a brief demonstration of your power over Hydro should be quite harmless.
Aren't
Oh
you the
man.
Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium! Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
Oh.
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Yep, she's losing that one.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar.
Oh my god.
I'm still the same Farina you knew, right?
Oh, nah. She's gonna go down in this one so hard.
Please, you've got to believe me.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough. That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is? If you have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument.
Damn.
How can we refute her now? Seems like she really doesn't want to give up.
We can prove that she isn't the Archon. We can try to prove that she is just a human. And if she's only human. Okay. We need to prove that she's just a human. So far, the one with the knave is already done.
That doesn't... It has been established that all Fontanians can dissolve in water
The
from
one
the
with
primordial
Bashe, okay.
And that means...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper procedure.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the last time that I'll speak out of turn. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago, taking many lives, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Farina, would you dare to touch some of this seawater? If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching this seawater would have no effect on you.
Oh.
All it should do is strengthen your case. But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years. I guess her suggestion is valid.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably a Fontanian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
Oh, she is going to freaking touch it. Farina?
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the same as a confession of guilt.
Oh my gosh, she is just going to touch it now.
Saying a single word. It really does seem like she's quite terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... that's not what we thought she would...
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina, you may...
Nah, she's just gonna touch it.
Hey!
She actually... Yo, she is indeed afraid.
I'm fine! Look! Look at me, everyone! My hand is still here! I haven't been dissolved! Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon!
What's
I'm
with the
nothing like a
freaking
normal
thing
human
right
who
there?
would fall apart as soon as they touch this water! Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
Miss Siegewin? If you're present, Miss Siegewin, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siegewin?
Hey, yo.
Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. Let me see. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewin.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. These indicate that she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegewin. Lady Farina, you may return to the defendant's stand.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't
Oh
get
my
dissolved!
gosh.
Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, After extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely unexpected might occur, we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so
God
out of regard
damn.
for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
Oh.
I can't believe you.
Oh my gosh. That is big brain energy right there. Oh my gosh. Farina can't have not known the consequences of touching that water as a human. There's two, unlike how she usually acts, unless it's actually more important for her to keep up her facade than to save her own life. But hadn't she given up everything a long time ago?
Listen to me! Listen to me, everyone! Please don't
Oh
give
my
me such
god.
cold and disdainful looks! What happened just
Oh
now
my gosh,
didn't
her
prove a
reputation
single
is
thing.
ruined, crumbling down around her right now.
How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater? Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
Dude. She's losing it. She really is losing it.
Please, everyone, anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're done. You're done.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Farina to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
Yeah, it's done. It is
I
done.
don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. She's too stacked against her now.
Yo. This is just dark.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is
Oh man.
guilty.
Yep. She's crying now. It's done. She's finished.
We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges.
Well, here it goes.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Farina is...
Hey yo.
What's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
Did the Oratrice just declare her innocent?
No. The Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty, to be punished via the death sentence.
Dude.
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences? I always thought that it was just a myth.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist.
God
Farina's
damn.
been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth. How did things escalate this quickly?
This outcome is indeed quite strange.
Man,
According to
that
Fontaine's current
escalation.
definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah! Even Vache wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
So, Farina, the Oratrice rendered judgment on the Hydro Archon.
Indeed. Not only is Farina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Farina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place. But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon. What does this mean?
My gosh, everything escalated way too much to the point that yeah,
I may interrupt.
that literally broke their plans now.
Is the trial still going?
Fremine! You finally made it. I assume this means you've completed your mission?
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top priority.
Okay, what's with this?
Is that the first prophecy slate?
Dude.
Huh. So the knave privately arranged for Fremine to try and find the missing slate.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water. But has the trial already concluded? Then doesn't that mean I've come too late? Oh no.
He sounds extremely tired. It's still not too late for you to shine.
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate. Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates, and would like you to come here and confirm their contents.
Okie dokie. Dude, this has become extremely serious now. Looks like the previous Hydro Archon releasing her divine power, turning Oceanids into human beings.
I believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait, no, that's Farina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon. So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro Archon we've been kinda talking about?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
An association between the contents of the slates and the events in real life.
Let's try to recall the contents
Oh my.
of the other 3 stone slates. Paimon will do her best to help you remember.
Yo, this has become a very long quest. Select to check the description of the stone slates to extract key information from them. You can find scenarios related to the stone slates, contents, incident recorded. Okay. Alright, understood. Come on.
The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontanians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process can be reversed as well.
Which is exactly what happened to Silver and Melus.
The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontanians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the original sin and the Hydro Archon sin are the same thing? The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people. That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate slate is the prophecy the Fontanians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her throne, and so on. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we? But after that incident, it was just a question of when and not if.
Okay, dokie. Verify the truth.
That doesn't sound...
The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society, but not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Meropide was nearly flooded with primordial seawater, which we know can cause Fontanians to dissolve. It seems increasingly likely that the prophecy may come true. If we hadn't dealt with it in time, things could have gone very badly.
Alright, that's done.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an Oceanid. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay. The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meropide was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what. The stone slate's content can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know together, loads of truths should come to light.
Okay. Verification complete.
Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now! So that's how you can make sense of it! But then it feels like we're going to have to share some truly shocking revelations.
Let's hear them.
The first state reveals that
Incredible.
Fontaine
did you hear that?
isn't humans.
We're not real humans.
All Fontanians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontanians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial, all of them in the shape of Oceanids.
Indeed.
The second slate reveals that Crime of the Hydrocon was her creation of Fontanians from Oceanid.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered Celestia by creating humans without prior permission. That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
The Hydro Archon's true sin was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese. The twists of history are often the most unexpected of all.
Third slate, I'm still convinced that it should come after the fourth slate.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate?
Fourth slate depicts the fulfillment of the prophecy as it's already widely known.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power source. When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3 slates at the time, I was unable to come to a full conclusion. Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within. If everything goes well, we should finally be informed of the unadulterated truth.
Oh man.
Well? Did you get it?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly summarize it for you. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontainians and the sin of the Hydro Archon were both correct. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the 7, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanids' blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids.
That's one hell of a lore.
Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
God damn.
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was creating us.
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontainian, but it does answer a lot of our questions.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the 3rd and 4th stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct.
Was it the 3rd slate supposed to represent then?
A key point of the visual on the 3rd slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the 3rd slate is that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice.
That's exactly what happened today.
It refers to our present situation.
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy...
Now we fulfilled the
in
prophecy.
Truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
What should we do?
It feels like there's no way out of this.
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled. Is this what it feels like to be a prisoner of fate?
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the 4th slate will also be fulfilled soon?
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions. About the fourth slate. You probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes? However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before.
I have. Wait, then what is it? Okay, one more time. Yo, this video is already way too long, but it's fine.
Warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
Okay. What is the true source of the catastrophe? A child floating in the sea in a dream as well as in this massive whale.
It was both dream and reality.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
Hey yo. Uh-oh. Primordial sea now. Yep. No. That's a freaking whale. Oh, Novelet! Oh, he's attacking. Dude, where did this thing even came from? Hey, yo, boss battle? Oh my gosh. Oh man! Yo, it's Child! Come on, brother! Oh my god! Yo, that's one hell of a teamwork right there. Yo, you've been fighting that every single day. Ever since you disappeared from the fortress of Meripede. Dude, he looks freaking tired. Oh my gosh, he literally fell back into that freaking void. Bro. Child.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the opera house? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
I'd wager that is also the one the child saw when he was young.
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Teyvat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontanians nigh impossible to resist. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food. Food in the form of Fontanians.
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
Poor child.
Maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy, all we need to could do to stop the prophecy would be to find a way to beat it up, right?
It is too late.
What do you mean?
It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself. Even if the entirety of Teyvat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world.
That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last hurdle is some impossible foe. That's just not fair.
Indeed, that's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end, no matter what.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
After everything, it still turned out like this. We couldn't fight against fate. Wait, but if this is all about fate...
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Teyvat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
Could be that even if prophecy will be fulfilled, there will still be a way to save everyone. Did I miss something? Man, we're gonna fight the whale. Wait, I forgot about Furina. Wait. What was it she wanted to say to me? That last moment in the magic box. What is a real secret? Oh man.
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Hey yo! Is he gonna save her?
No, I still need answers.
Come on. Dude. Hey yo, what's this? Yo! Hello? Did I just teleported Nouvellette and only Nouvellette? Probably just Nouvellette. Yeah, it's just Nouvellette. Furina?
You...
Oh man.
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Furina. Who are you?
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor.
Dude.
You know, the god.
The real Hydro Archon.
Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon
this Archon
me
is
by
a
my
lot more
predecessor.
like an Archon this
That's
time
the
at least.
former Hydro Archon Egeria for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only
Wait,
assume
this
that's
is
why Egeria chose
the one
me
that
as her
was talking from the
successor.
freaking cup.
Although, looking back now,
That's her voice,
it
isn't
was
it?
hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand.
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being.
And that is Furina.
The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Furina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Furina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles.
Damn.
Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Furina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy coming to pass. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Furina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years, and all along, She's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
Damn. Yo, this video is literally now 2 hours. I should have streamed this instead. Came into contact with Furina's tears, if I remember correctly. Tears often contain a being's strongest emotion. With sufficiently strong hydrosensitivity, I can form an emotional connection just like I did with the Oceanid at the Fontaine of Lucine. Wait, could this be Furina's inner world? Wait a moment, that probably isn't Furina. Likely a reflection of her inner self. Dude. Yeah, let's try to talk to her. Okay, where's the freaking stairs? Man, I now feel bad for Furina. Jeez.
Oh, who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules.
Come on, it's me.
All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you.
Don't look at me, don't look at me. What?
To state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance.
I don't see an audience here.
Oh, do not
Just on the
jest.
stage, let's go off, please, if only for 1 second. What?
I am Focalor. The
That way I
eyes
can
of
become
countless
myself again.
Fontanians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility.
Something's off. There's no getting through her. Man. What sort of resolve must she have that her inner self and subconsciousness would have such impenetrable defense? They have to find a way. Man, bro, you don't even want to know at this point. Okay. Yeah, you know what, guys? This video is getting way too long, man. At this point, I should have streamed this on my Twitch. But yeah, anyways, I'm just going to end this video right here. I'll just probably continue this in the next one. Yeah, I was not able to literally stop it earlier, literally just because, yeah, that story just kept on flowing. I'm not gonna lie, that was a very, very good story. But yeah, anyways, I guess that's pretty much it for this freaking video. Extremely long one, I know, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, goddamn, I feel bad for Furina now. Oh man.
Worry about the
But yeah, anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed.
I'm sure the good people
make sure
of
to
the
leave a like and
Adventurers Guild
subscribe,
are
and also
absolutely
please do follow me on Facebook and also on X if you guys are interested. And yeah, feel free to follow me on Twitch as well. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.